Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? It has been a challenge. My daughter is in this nice little. She was given an opportunity to be in a magazine, a student-led magazine, and it has been a fight for her to realize like how great this is. She did her first issue, and today she was just acted a behind, and it's I because she doesn't really want to do it, and so I've been definitely struggling with this whole how this is a great opportunity. You need to really take advantage of this. The guy is like super patient, but I mean, you can't keep embarrassing me and think this is okay. So it's like I realize that I have to hear her, because I hate this idea of her giving up on, something. But what you won't do is continuously embarrass me. So, um, I'm not sure how I'm going to handle it moving forward with this, but definitely she's not going to be able to do it anymore, because, like, if I was him, I'd fire her. I did get the mail yesterday, which is and so I used it already. My ultimate body applicator. I used it on my tummy yesterday. I was really upset because I ordered two, and unfortunately, I think I threw one of them away by accident. So like my heart is hurting so bad. I don't even want to think about it. But like I said, you have to use it where you're going to be able to drink a lot of water, and that is something that you do need to actually do. I am doing keto coffee this morning. I already have my greens. I put it in because I was supposed to have a meeting this morning, and then that didn't work out. So I was like, well, I was going to drink my greens while I do my meeting, because today is my green day. I had a cute little parfait for breakfast. I didn't feel like making a bunch of different fruit to go in it, so it's just bananas. I actually like bananas on top of yogurt. I didn't realize that I like bananas on top of vanilla yogurt, and I do not like Greek yogurt, so I've tried it. I think it's disgusting. It's just not my cup of tea. I think part of it is because I grew up on Yoplait. When you grow up on Yoplait, there's no way that you can grow up and stomach Greek yogurt. Yeah. Even with fruit, the fruit is not enough. It's not enough. So, but I'd still do low fat. So, sorry. So as I'm doing that, definitely remember that it is elizabethwalker.itworks.com, and my iced coffee is done. As I am doing my iced coffee, that is super, super cool, I want to show you my shirt, Kamala 2020. It is like the perfect, aka Kamala Harris. Like, I was listening this morning, iced coffee, to them talking about how it's like 2 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock this morning, on them talking about how Elizabeth Warren, how Black activists are much more interested in Elizabeth Warren than Kamala Harris. And it doesn't have to be a Black woman, just as long as it's a woman. Who, before I even say who are these people, I actually know who these people would probably be. And I I'm thoroughly frustrated. Like it's absolutely frustrating. It's absolutely horrendous that there are people who would prefer, an Elizabeth Warren versus Kamala Harris. But I like Elizabeth Warren. I actually do. So it's not that I would be thoroughly upset, but I would be hurt that he had the chance to put my girl Kamala up there. And I don't even like to do as many political advertisements, but I'm just saying my feelings would be hurt. See, I have the matching necklace that matches with my shirt. My out of all the new products that I tried, and there's one more that's pretty new for patterns that I do want to try. It's the curling gel. I'm going to try it. I'm going to order it. But this is the one that I did like out of all of them the most was the hydrating mist. So much so that I have it on recurring order. So every 2 months, I get 2 new bottles of hydrating mist. Because that small bottle, it came and went pretty quickly. So, one more thing that I definitely wanted to share. So Jaqueline Woodson, it's another kid's book. It's middle to high school. And she did another book, I think, is it Mercy Me? Brown Girl Dreaming. And Brown Girl Dreaming is so different from this book. Brown Girl Dreaming, I could sit and read it in one sitting because it really just was her telling us a story. This young girl was essentially telling a story through poetry. So it was actually a pretty cool book. Telling her life story through poetry. This one is so different, and I think it's kind of cool because the premise of this, sorry, I'm actually in the middle of working, so I actually wanted to check over and do some stuff. The thing that stood out to me about this book, and I was reading through it last night, it's actually pretty short, so I mean it's like 160 pages, 69, 70 pages. I loved the fact that it's Spinning Harbor Me spends so much time trying to get the student it's asking the question of like, children need to talk, and I think my theme of reading these kids books, is that it really gives me a really nice grounding in understanding that kids do struggle with the decisions that adults make, right? And so they are not allowed to have spaces to talk and to deal with their issues in the same way that adults can. Simply for a number of reasons, and I think one of the main reasons is because adults continuously have to make decisions for them on their own. And so how do they begin to start trying to like voice themselves can be in destructive ways. And so I think that this whole thing is to have she's really dealing with like, what if we spend some time to give them space to have voice? And that's what this book is really focusing on, is giving them a voice. And their voices by giving them a physical space, a room where they can deal with the issues that are most pressing for them. And for them, it's, you know, a father who's been in jail, a father who disappeared and they think it's deportation. Like all of these other looming issues, which I think are very, very salient for these six, for many kids, but these are for 6 kids who are coming together, who are trying to find some sense of support for each other, with or without an adult who is I wouldn't say involved, but I would say guiding. And it doesn't take away from parenting. It doesn't take away from any of those aspects. It's just allowing them to work through it. So maybe they won't become like bullies, or maybe they won't become introverts, or maybe they won't get into trying to commit suicide or cutting themselves or sexual promiscuity or drugs, you know. And I think that this is a pretty interesting little read. I mean, I don't have a child old enough to read some of these books, so I don't know if they hit home in the same way that it would for an older child, you know, for an older child. I mean, for someone like me who's reflecting on trying to understand the different, you know, the differences of responses for people. I was actually having this conversation last night with my husband about sexual abuse and sexual harassment, and part of the problem that, you know, he kind of asked a question about, like, he doesn't understand why, you know, some of the, like, for some of the women, for Jeff Epstein, why they could not continue on with their career. And, you know, I was explaining, like, hey, everyone's experience with sexual harassment or sexual assault, some people are willing, or even child molestation, some people are able to move forward and compartmentalize and deal with life. Others may not be able to do that. They may be frozen still. And I think that whatever people's response is, I don't know what their response is and why their response is the way that it is. I don't think that that is something that needs to be judged, right? So it's, people respond how they feel as they are accustomed to responding to, and how they are dealt with. I don't know why some people are able to deal with tragedy more than others and being able to work through it. I don't know that. Or trauma. Literally, that's not my field. So, and I think that I think we're in this space, and this is where this book is really kind of heading you to, that how can we help children start guiding themselves through the ramification of adult decisions. And I think that's a fair, and it's an interesting read. So definitely recommend picking up Jaqueline Woodson's new book. And on that note, I know tomorrow I definitely want to watch the new Nia Long movie, and I didn't do it last night, no particular reason, but I will do it tomorrow, so then I can come with you tomorrow afternoon with a bit of a review of Nia Long's book. So that's pretty, so that will be my next thing for tomorrow. And on that note, have a great afternoon. Don't forget to go to elizabethwalker.itworks.com, because your ultimate applicators are the best. It really is. It really, really is. Like I said, but make sure you're drinking a lot of fluids, a lot of water. Stay dehydrated. Do your greens. And don't forget your keto coffee. Bye.